Hello everybody, I am super excited to be able to bring you this Craftmaster new foundation die. It is fabulous. It's so versatile and it's going to be one of those things that you really need in your craft stash, okay? You're going to want it, but it's something you're going to really need. It is wonderful. So it's a plant pot, but it's a plant pot with a difference. Let me show you. So I've laid mine out on this magnetic board just so you can see. When you get it, it's got all these little, and so I would suggest you do this. So you might, if you haven't got any magnetic shims, maybe that's one thing that you're going to have to get to be able to do this. I've laid it out. It's going to make it so much easier when I'm using them. 3 different sizes. So we've got this lovely large one, a medium and a small. And then, as you can see, we've got all these little lines and you're thinking, what are they for, Amanda? Well, if I lift that up and move that away, look at what we've got here. We've got these little half moons, and then on these connector dies here, we've got these little full moons, and the little full moons fit in the half moons. So now we've got lots of plant pots, but we haven't just got plant pots. So let me explain. We have got plant pots just quickly in this picture that you can see here. We've cut it twice. One has become the decoupage element that's at the rim of the plant pot, and one has become the plant pot saucer. But I said at the beginning, you've got 3 sizes. I was telling a little fib because actually you've got far more than 3 sizes. So if you cut the big one out with just that top one, that's a different size. So that's 2 sizes. That's 3 sizes, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. You've got 20 different sizes of what could possibly be a plant pot or a saucer. So it's phenomenal. And how we're going to use it is just fabulous. The design of doing this, it's like, oh, why haven't we done this before? It's amazing. So these are our 3 sizes. And I'll come back to that in a second. So we've got our large, which is really quite substantial. And if you think about, if you're collecting the flower of the month, this is an absolute got to go in your basket. If you're doing the flower of the month and collecting them all, this is going to make it so easy for your card blanks to make actual standalone cards, and also all the other elements. So you've got all these plant pots. Can you imagine all different variations and sizes, and build up a beautiful scene using these? So then that is your second size. Again, lovely substantial size. Let me do a little bit of measuring for you. So the largest one is 15 centimetres. I'm going to say 10.5. Okay. The medium one, we are 12 centimetres. And I'm going to say it's closer to 9 than 8.5. And then our smaller one is 8 centimetres, and that's by 6. So we start off with 3 really good sized plant pots, but then there's a little difference, and this is where it gets really exciting and it's super clever. So on this little one here that you can see, I've already gone ahead and I've cut this little slit here. Now these slits are going to be fantastic because we can use them as tuck-ins as well. So if we're using the bigger version and you just want a little slit because you're going to do a tuck-in, just take one of your smaller ones, place it on where you want it, even on at an angle, doesn't have to be straight across, cut that through, and you're going to be able to do tuck-ins with all of this. But also these are going to work on all your other collections as well. So if you need that little tuck-in on a background, these are going to work fabulous. So that's how it cuts. What would be our normal, I'm going to say, standard plant pot. Okay, it's got the bit at the top. You could also cut that off, okay? And then it gets even more exciting because we've got the different sizes. So let's say that that is the standard one, okay? So I'm now going to take away those 2 little pips. And now I've got a plant pot with a saucer, okay? But if I then take that off of that one I've also got a plant pot that is decoupaged and a saucer. How clever is this? And this is all going to be from one plant, just one of them. It's super exciting. So now I've cut it further down. So I'm just taking I've now got 2 shorter plant pots, or they're flower tubs. And again, using the other elements, we've got saucers for them, which is just amazing for them to sit on. So these could then be, you could be doing a scene on a windowsill. They could be herb garden. They could be a stacking plant pot system. So if you think you've got a shorter one like that, and you've got one on the top, and let's go little. And then the smaller one on the top of there, we've got a weeble wobble tower going on. It's phenomenal. What it's going to be able to allow us to do is just wonderful. And then I've cut one really low down because I wanted a plant pot that was wide at the top. So I'm keeping the biggest element of my plant pot, chopping off the smaller piece at the base. This again, no waste. That's going to be another one. And then adding back in that little saucer element at the bottom, which is fantastic. So now I've cut all those and shown you all the different ways. There's many, many more. So the more you can think that you can do with this, it just goes on and on and on. So that is just like a brief overlay. So if you think all the different sizes you're going to be able to create, all those little tubs, almost like you can do them like you've got for, you know, in the little ones where you use yogurt pots and things. You've even got the smaller ones, so they're just fantastic. So I'm now going to go on to what we have here. And these are free. So these are now your plant pot downloads. So these are your papers, and just look at the colourways that we've got for you. So now this changes a lot. So in a garden, sometimes you get the weathered look, don't you? So you can either cut out your plant pots like this, so you've got that weathered edge where the rain and everything's been hitting it, or cut it out this way and it looks just like a designer, one of those really nice designer high shine plant pots. So if you put your cadence varnishes and things on this, you're going to get another look to them. So we've got several different colourways and they're all just beautiful. Look at this. We've got the crackle going on. Again, adding on your varnishes on top of this, it's going to look spectacular. More colourways in that one. That's got to be one of my favourites. I love that. And then we're going on as if it's an old stone pot. Again, you've got various colourways going on with that as well. So that in itself is a free download, which is fabulous. So the one I'm going to choose to have a go with is the blue. Where is it? There we go. So this is how we actually go ahead and cut it out. So I have got here, I'm going to go here, and I'm just going to choose one of my little cuts, okay? So I am going to cut the top off. So I'm going to go with the biggest one. In fact, I'm going to turn that round because I want a colour tone change to it. Because I'm thinking I want to cut that top piece off. Whoops. And by cutting that top piece off, that's the brown colour. When I move it down to the bottom, it's going to bring the brown from the top and it's then going to level it out, which is what I'm wanting. So, pop it on here. Pop my die down. I would recommend you actually tape this down, but I've lost my little bit of tape. Pop that on there. Like so. And then we're going to send it through the machine. And again, this is an absolute must. So it's an absolute must to actually have this. It's just brilliant. So, and we also want to see what you do with it as well. So if you think about the other foundation, the fundamental dies that we've had, we've also had the vases, etc. So these, when you think, I know my mum and dad used to have fancy plant pots in the house. These could also then be the saucers for that. So they're going to be real workhorses for you. So this is just fabulous. I can't wait to work with this, with the flower of the month, and make so many different designs. So now We've sent it through, we've used the biggest one, I've placed it, fussy cut it, that I wanted all the colour, but this brown was then going to become my saucer. And just by moving that down like so, look at that. That is just amazing. And it's so easy and simple. So that is one that I just wanted to show you and share with you, this plant pot, because it is incredible. It's 3 sizes, but remember I told you you get all those different cuts from it. Saucers, plant pots, little plant tubs. It's incredible and it's such a fabulous design. So if you haven't already got yours yet and you're wanting to actually have the downloads as well, remember those downloads are free. So when you get your plant pot, you're going to get your free downloads if you see in the description below, and that'll then take you through to where you can get them. Okay, I'll see you all again soon. Bye.
If you want to see more from Highlight Crafts, make sure you click the like button. Subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below, and click the bell icon to receive notifications of all of our future content. You can also click here to see our latest video, or click here to see more videos like this one.